Hi, Jen here from Jen Michelle Coaching, and today I want to talk about how to better understand your partner. For those of you new to my channel, I would love to invite you to subscribe. I release a video weekly. Listen and notice where you're judging and being critical, as this does not create emotional safety. Sometimes we believe we're listening, but we're often listening to be able to speak to what we need to say, or we get all these emotions stirred within ourselves, and it's hard to just really lean back and listen. And this doesn't mean that you're agreeing or that you're compliant or that you're going to just take on something that isn't yours to own, but there is such power in just being a safe space for a person to share. Now, of course, this does not apply to someone who's shouting, becoming belligerent, if there's any sort of safety risk at all. But I'm talking about just listening and noticing what comes up within you. So the instinct for most women is to internalize. When there's negative feedback, the instinct is going to be to take that and make it something wrong with you. I'm a bad girl. I did this, it's all my fault, right? The instinct will be to take full responsibility. The more sort of unhealthy masculine instinct is going to be deflect and to direct it outward and say, this is your fault, you did this, to go into that sort of, outward direction. And so to create safety in listening, it's really critical that we notice these instincts and we first notice, am I making this my fault? Am I making this about myself and the relationship? Or am I just in this nice neutral space where I can hear what they're saying and I can kind of settle into my body without activating my threat response system? Same is true if he's deflecting and saying this is your fault. If he's having difficulty hearing something about himself and he starts that outward, movement, being able to filter it before reacting and noticing what's yours to own and what isn't yours to own, and just choosing not to participate from that activated space. And that could look like, I would love to talk about this later after we've taken a little time. I don't want to fight with you. I love you. So I'd like to revisit this after I've had a chance to feel my way through it. I need a little time to settle. All of these things are great ways to sort of support listening without having it move into deep conflict. And that can mean just sort of settling yourself. Maybe you're grounding your feet, you're relaxing your arms. Maybe you even touch your arm just to bring a little bit of awareness to you. You notice your breath. Are you breathing smoothly through the nose? Your heart rate. Just notice what's going on within your body and just practice again, dropping down and listening and hearing, knowing that if you're practicing being in your feminine energy, you're going to always have a chance to speak your truth, and it doesn't need to be communicated urgently, and that you'll have that chance. And so always remembering that in the practice of learning how to truly listen. Number 2, be a safe space and don't make it all about you or the relationship. Sometimes it's so easy, and I see this a lot, where the masculine will say, this is what's on my mind, or I'm feeling really down. And a woman who is insecure or feeling just fragile within the relationship will immediately use that as an opportunity to talk about where things stand with the relationship. So all of a sudden, it goes from him trying to get emotional release to him taking care of you now and your feelings because you were threatened by him having a day that was less than perfect. I see this so often, and it's one of the sneakiest things that shows up. And so where are you making it into something it doesn't need to be? And instead, where can you give yourself permission to really allow your partner or the man you're dating or whatever it may be just to have a bad day? It is a tremendous amount of pressure to put on our partner to be in a good mood 365 days a year. And so where can you just allow them to be as they are without making it into anything else other than that? Number 3, give him complete free will. This means you let him walk through the door or not. You let him move about freely, and you just simply allow him to show you. Like I share in so many of my videos, we only really learn who our partner is by taking a step back. And so it's so critical to our own development and to the development of love that we live in truth. And the feminine energy is about living in full truth, where you are not distorting it, you are not masking it with narratives, stories, action, overgiving, any of these tendencies, helicoptering. There's so many ways where we prevent ourselves from understanding our partner, but the only way to understand our partner is to give them full free will and to be willing to see the full unwavering truth of them and ourselves, because it's within this beautiful dynamic where we're learning how to grow in real time and letting them see that something new gets to develop. Because in this, there is a beautiful vulnerability and courage that hides underneath, any perfectionistic tendency or any of those defense mechanisms that we do out of fear of not being enough or of not getting our needs met. And so when we get underneath this and we give a man free will and we allow him to show us who he is and we face that truth, it's only then that the relationship can reach its full potential and reach that depth that, that we crave and that we desire deep down, because we know that lives within each of us. So I hope that these 3 tips are really valuable to you and anything that you're going through as you learn skills and ways to be successful in love. Please check out my site, jenmichellecoaching.com. I have lots of digital programs there. I have my group waiting list back up. So if you are interested in an intimate setting of small group coaching, please sign up for the Attract Him Forever wait list, and you will be first notified of my next offering for that program. Much love.